some confusion. There is some confusion about getting on the call, but I guess people will figure it out as time goes on. So thank you all so much. We'll start with a very small invocations of gratitude, and then I'll introduce some amazing more people on the call, and then we'll begin. So if you wouldn't mind to place both your hands together in this mudra of humility, surrender, and acceptance to the center of our bodies. And close your eyes and we'll do this beautiful invocations of gratitude. Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Yontaf Pravesha Mama Vachamimam Prashuptam Sanjivayatya Khila Shakti Dharaswadhamna Anyamscha Hasta Charana Shravana Tvagadim Pranannamo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. Thank you, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Heart Space, Chintamani. Nice to have you. And we have our host, Keshavi Devi. Let's welcome Keshavi Devi to the Heart Space. And our special honorable guest today, we have His Grace Gaura Vani Prabhu. And Gaura Vani Prabhu, for those of you who do not know him, raise your hand if you know him. Raise your hand if you do not know him. Oh, so nice. I get to introduce to you a very beautiful, kind, loving soul that has captured the heart of the entire world with his beautiful melodic voices and chants through his kirtans. He is one of the most well-renowned kirtaniers in the world. And that is largely because the size of his heart. The resounding sound of his heart, because we were discussing our call is called the Heart Space call. And so the sound of his heart is so vibrant and so powerful that it permeates every space that he goes on, every continent, every country, every town, and every village. And we have discussed a while ago about this important principle of intracardiac communication. In Sanskrit, the word is called Pashyanti, and Gaura Vani Prabhu, he has taken the real practice of this intracardiac communications by communicating with the hearts of so many beautiful souls all around the world. Yeah. And I'm very fortunate that he's here in Atlanta now. For the next 2 more days, he's going to be melting the hearts in Atlanta. So if you have a heart and you want to melt your heart, then this is the place to be for the next 2 more days. He's doing ecstatic kirtan here in Atlanta at a beautiful sanctuary here, spiritual sanctuary. And we're so happy to have him with us. I especially invited him because I would like you to all meet his heart. Even though we are covering the 9 islands of the heart with Shravanam Kirtanam, and he is almost walking this second island of the heart with Kirtanam, where he travels around the world and he does this incredible seva of getting people back into their hearts, which is the very objective of this heart space calls. So thank you, Gaura, Vani, Prabhu. I would like to request you to please share a little bit about your heart journey, and then tell us about how we can operate from that beautiful space of the heart. So the floor is yours now, Gaura, Vani, Prabhu.
Thank you for such a kind introduction. Can everyone hear me? All right. I have a question. I have very limited options in the room that I'm staying in for light. Can I show you? Right now, I feel like I'm kind of silhouetted. Can I show you the other option? Is this one better than the other one?
They're like the same.
Whichever one's easier on the eyes. You know, I know we spend so much time in front of our screens, so you just let me know, whatever you prefer. So what a kind introduction, Veda. So I have a guitar over here in the corner. Maybe I can pull it out a little bit later and can sing a little bit together. There's a famous teacher from the Sikh tradition, the founder of the Sikh tradition, named Guru Nanak. And they say that Guru Nanak, sometimes he wouldn't speak as much as he would sing. There's a story that a king from a small principality came to see him. And, you know, they very respectfully sat him down in a waiting room. He said, you know, I'd like to see the guru. So they said, oh, please sit here. And, you know, so, you know, just have to wait some time. So then after some time, like an old attendant, a waiter came in, and he was like asking him, would you like some fruit or some nuts while you wait? And this king was like, yes, yes, bring whatever you'd like, bring water, tea. And so the old man, he kept, you know, and after some time, the king said, where is Guru Nanak? I'm here to meet the Guru, and why is it taking so long? I'm a very busy man, and I have, you know, why am I here wasting my time? And then, you know, would you like more tea? No, I'm tired of the tea. I'm done with the tea. I'm done with the fruit. I'm done with the nuts. I want to meet the Guru, you know? And the old man says, well, if there's anything I can do. And then at some point he got up. He says, I'm sick of this. I'm going. And he's walking out. He says, so rude. You know, I'm a important person. I come here. And basically just you guys ignored me, and the Guru, you know, and it's just some old guys asking me for tea. And they said, oh, that was Guru Nanak. You know, he was not in the right heart space. He spent hours with Guru Nanak, and he didn't realize it because he thought it was just like a waiter. I love that story. So yeah, how do we dwell permanently but in a protected way? How do we dwell permanently and safely in the heart space? The reason why I say safely is many times, if we are too vulnerable in the wrong atmosphere, then our hearts can be unprotected. So it's very important, if we're talking about heart space, one thing that's very important is that we keep the right sangha, or the right friendship or association. It's an incredibly important part of spiritual life, is to keep the right community around us. Yeah, I mean, you know, wherever we are, we'll find that there are certain people that we really grow from their friendship, that we're able to dig deeply we're able to speak honestly, we're able to listen and share and receive and also give in a very deep and meaningful way. So that's the Sangha. That's who we want to spend time with. Certainly we have to spend time with other people also, but we should be remembering that when we're with others, we're mostly there to serve and to give. But it's when we're in this special association of lovers of God, those who are respectful and kind and humble and caring, and that's when we can also drink deeply from their association, from their friendship. So so I feel Veda is one of those people in my life. I try to keep certain friends as close as I can, and whenever we connect, it's just a matter of a few moments before we're in a deep place together, discussing deeply from a very meaningful place. Thank you, Veda, for that, and thank you for inviting all these beautiful souls into this awareness, this consciousness. Um, let me follow Guru Nanak's example, and let me get my guitar. I'll sing. I feel like maybe I need a break from talking. Hold on one second. So I was just in Rishikesh.
We are all going there, Gaura, Vani Prabhu.
Oh, really? When are you guys going?
We're going on the 21st of October till the 31st.
Oh, wow. Wow, Rishikesh has got a great mood, very, very interesting place and interesting people, and very historical, ancient place for spiritual exploration. One of the things that's very prominent about Rishikesh is the river Ganga flows through the center of town. And she's like the color of an emerald there.
Or mud.
In Rishikesh?
Depends on the time you're there.
I guess it's yeah. When is she there? Like after the monsoon season? She's
Yeah, during the monsoon. It's just
during the
brown.
yeah. It's also a beautiful color.
Yeah, but the emerald isn't for sure.
The color of earth, color of life. So wrote this little song about the Ganga, for the Ganga. One of the beautiful metaphors of the Ganga. The Ganga river flows from the glacier Gomukh and flows all through the Himalayas and then down into the plains of India. And India is a very vast country. And she keeps flowing. She doesn't stop. She doesn't get confused or, diverted. She just flows and flows and flows. She just keeps pushing and pushing until she reaches the Bay of Bengal. And there's so many metaphors connected to the Ganga. There's a beautiful verse from the Queen Kunti. Tvaime nanya vishaya. You know that verse, Veda? You have it in your mind?
Not all the lines.
She says, may my heart, may my mind and my heart, my consciousness, the essence of my being, be ever drawn to your lotus-like feet, just as the Ganga is ever drawn to the ocean and unstoppably flowing. May my mind and my heart be like that. Sorry, did someone say something? We have, I'm here in a house full of young people in Atlanta, these guys who are putting on this festival. They're all making music behind the door here. I hope you can hear the guitar through my headset. Can you hear it? Jai Gangama, Jai Gangama. 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 In the Vedas, where our dear Veda gets his name from, Vedas, they teach us the great wisdom books of the ancient cultures of the world. They teach us that we can invite all these holy rivers, the sacred rivers, into our prayers, our ritual, our practice through the power of mantra. So many times you'll start with a mantra and you'll have a vessel of water for cleansing your hands or cleansing the place where you're sitting. Not just cleansing it like, because there's dust on the furniture, but kind of the idea of sprinkling water as a matter of cleansing the consciousness, as like a conduit for spiritual energy. Once we put on a sacred music festival on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. It's a festival we do called Chant for Change. And there was a Native American, a Cherokee gentleman there, and he told us it was raining that day. And he said, this is a very good sign because the water will carry and magnify our prayers. So in the Cherokee tradition, they see water as a magnifier, energetic magnifier. So in the Vedic tradition, water is often a vehicle for prayer. So another metaphor from the Ganga, we talked about, the Ganga's flowing, right, to the bay. And it's just like our heart, our love flowing to the divine. Another metaphor from the Ganga that is a really beautiful one. People who live along the Ganga, many of them are not wealthy. It flows for many thousands of miles. And so they go to the river and they want to express their gratitude to the earth, to the river for giving them sustenance, to God for giving them consciousness and life, but they have nothing to offer. So they'll take the water of the Ganga in their hands and they'll lift the water like this in a vessel and they'll just like pour it back into the Ganga. And they're basically saying, thank you, please take my offering. Thank you for everything you've given me. Now, please take everything. And the example is given that it's like a child who goes to his mother's rose garden and plucks a rose flower on Mother's Day and then goes to his or her mom and says, Mom, happy Mother's Day. And she says, where did you get such a lovely flower? Did you pick it from my garden? Well, thank you, darling. It's such a sweet gift, you know. Jai Ganga, Jai Ganga. Jai Ganga, Jai Ganga. Jai Ganga, Jai Ganga. Jai Ganga, Jai Ganga. So now I want you to close your eyes and I'm going to sing this invocation to invite the holy rivers into our hearts, to cleanse our hearts. It's naming all the sacred rivers of India, some that are unseen now, some that have disappeared maybe thousands of years ago, like the river Saraswati. She's not apparent to the eyes anymore, but they still recognize her presence as an energetic flow. So we're going to invite these holy rivers, sacred rivers into our hearts so that our hearts can become cleansed in such a way that they can become an invitation to the divine, an invitation to who George Harrison called my sweet Lord, who in Bhakti we call Krishna, Krishna, Radha Krishna, divine, feminine and masculine, divine couple. Om Gange cha Jamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Namastubhyam Om Gange cha Jamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Namastubhyam Namastubhyam. So let's try this together. I can sing and then you can sing because of the nature of Zoom. Maybe it'll be out of sync. That's okay. Let's try it. Everyone unmute for just a moment here. Is that possible? It should be.
Yeah.
I'll sing, you sing, okay? Om Gange cha. Om Gange cha. Om Gange cha.
Om Gange cha.
Yamune chaiva.
Yamune chaiva.
Yamune chaiva.
Yamune chaiva.
Godavari Saraswati. Godavari Saraswati.
Godavari.
Let's put these two names together. Godavari Saraswati. Saraswati. Try that one. Saraswati. Namade Sindhu Kaveri. Narmade Sindhu Kaveri. Narmade Sindhu Kaveri. Narmade Sindhu Kaveri. Namastubhyam. Namastubhyam. Namo Namah. Beautiful. You sound like a big herd of cows, everyone mooing at a different time. Very, very beautiful sound. Beautiful. Jai Gangama, Jai Gangama. Jai Gangama, Jai Gangama.
Jai Gangama, Jai Gangama,
Jai Gangama, Jai Gangama.
Jai
Gangama, Jai
Gangama,
Gangama,
Oh, Jai Gangama, Jai Gangama.
oh, Jai Gangama, Jai Gangama.
Beautiful, thank you. You know, so much of what we get out of our lives depends on our intention, our, our frameworks for belief and understanding, our paradigms. And this tradition, which is known as bhakti, tradition of devotion, bhakti yoga, a life of service and devotion, it challenges us to rethink our frameworks. And it's very important that we do that. I have 3 kids, and I'm constantly asking myself how to reassess what I'm teaching them, how I'm encouraging them, what it is that I'm what roadmap I'm giving them in their life. There's a beautiful verse in Bhagavad Gita. I recommend a version of the Gita called Bhagavad Gita as it is by Srila Prabhupada. And in this In this version of the Gita, which many of you may be familiar with, what he does is he takes exactly what Krishna said in Sanskrit, and then he tells you exactly what it is in English, including a word for word translation, so you can see for yourself how it gets there. And then he, in a purport, collects all the different wisdom from all the different well established and respected teachers from many thousands of years, and he puts them all in one place so you can hear the thoughts of all these masters on each of the verses. So there's one verse, Brahmarpanam Brahma Havir Brahmagno Brahmana Hutam Brahmeva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. And the verse in essence says, everything is divine. Everything is divine. Brahmarpanam Brahma Havir. Whatever you offer, the offering place, the vessel, the ingredients for your ritual or offering, the prayers, all of it, they're all divine. And the results are divine, and everything about it, the process is divine, and it all is being held together by the divine. So this is in some ways a very inscrutable verse, because it's like, so everything's divine. Okay, got it. Like so everything is awesome. Like, everything is awesome. All right, so that's the purpose of that verse, is to say everything is awesome, So then in the purport, Prabhupada says, I think this is from Gita 4:24. So he makes a very fascinating point. He says that everything is spirit. So then what is the question of matter, right? How is it that we've been caught in this world of matter if everything is spirit, right? Now, some teachers, they like to focus on the one aspect of the divine called Brahman. And Brahman is the everythingness of God. God is within me, God is within you, God is within this table, God is in the air, God is in every atom, everything. There can be nothing but God, right? How could there anything exist except the divine? How is it possible? It's like everything. So everything is full of divine consciousness. So some people like to dwell in that space, but the challenge with dwelling in that space is we have personality, we have feelings, we have emotions, we have ideas, we have desires. And to sublimate those things ultimately ends up that they'll come out at another time in another way. So then there's another aspect of the divine called Paramatma, which is to recognize that there is a spark of divine consciousness that is animating every living creature. So in that sense, you can see even in your pet, you can see a temple, a moving temple. You see your dog and you see, this is not a dog. This is a moving temple of the divine, because God is seated in his or her heart. This is the fuzzy, hairy, sloppy temple walking around all the place, right? You see it in the trees, you see every God in all. But still, there is this desire to love and to be loved. And so this aspect of God as a loving person comes into the dialogue. And for many people who've been raised in Western cultures, with science and, like empirical knowledge, and like, can you see it? Can you measure it? Can you check it? Like, it's a hypothesis, but how do you know? Like, what's the process? So when we get into this space of saying that Krishna is a loving person, it's just like it breaks people's brain. They're like, no, it's like, no, this is not like the source of the galaxies and the sun and the moon and, you know, space and time as a person. Like, no, that's not. So my response to that is always, but somehow or other in the vastness of space and time, you are a person. That's also pretty impossible. Like how you're like stardust and who knows what, like how are you a conscious person? It's a total mystery. It makes no sense in the vastness of space and time that you're a conscious being sitting here thinking and feeling. Doesn't make any sense. Well, there it is. And that consciousness comes from the source of all consciousness, the divine loving person. Srila Prabhupada says, we are all people, and he is our leader. He is the original person. So back to this verse, Prabhupada makes this point. Where is the matter? How are we interacting with matter? If we're all divine, how are we interacting with matter? What is this business with the material world? This business with time and death, transformation. So a very beautiful point comes out. He says, we are divine, Sat Chit Ananda, eternity, knowledge, and bliss. But because of our attachment to our own enjoyment of our own material senses, which are connected to our material body, which is not our eternal identity, right? It's like a guy who's totally fixated on his car. No. It's like every conversation gets back to his car. You know, it's always about like, you know, when you go somewhere, it's actually not about the journey at all. It's just about getting in the car and driving the car around. And at some point, it's like, come on, man, like a car is just for getting from point A to point B. Like you're getting completely obsessed with this car thing, you know, like let it go, you know. You know, he buffs the car, he shines the car, he polishes the car, takes pictures of the car, you know. This is us and our body. Our body is a vehicle meant for a purpose. And we've become so obsessed. You know, it's as ridiculous to see someone buffing the hood of their car as it is for us to be like this in the mirror. And it's like, the hair's just not right today. Like, oh, can't do anything with my hair today. It's as ridiculous. So because of our obsession with material senses, which are connected to our material bodies, we see everything. This is the secret here that Prabhupada gives. We see everything in connection with how does it please me, which is ultimately incredibly selfish. Now, to greater or lesser degrees, but when we're little kids, it's like this. I want to taste everything. Stick it in your mouth, like try this, taste this. I want, you know, and we kind of grow into this. It gets more sophisticated, you know, toys, video games. Like, how can I get as much pleasure out of every moment for myself as possible? How can I enjoy? How can I enjoy myself? You know, it's all about enjoying my senses. And Prabhupada says that actually that is taking us further and further into the tangle of matter. So everything is divine, but because we're so obsessed with our material senses, we see everything as matter. We don't see it as spirit. And so how can we begin to see it as spirit? We have to disentangle, and begin to see everything in connection with the supreme source. Instead of thinking, the analogy so many times is given, instead of thinking like a hand doesn't believe in the stomach. A hand just wants to eat by itself, you know. It's like grabs. And it's like, what? Soon the body will die. the hand is connected to the body. And in that way, everything is nourished by nourishing the stomach. So in that same way, instead of thinking, how can I please myself? Slowly our consciousness begins to shift and we think, how can I serve others? And then we think, how can I serve the source? How can I align my consciousness with divine consciousness so that I'm actually serving everyone at all times? So I'm becoming a conduit for divine grace in every moment. So this is the magic. And then Prabhupada makes the beautiful point that if we're able to see everything in the consciousness of how does it please the divine, how does it please Krishna, then it regains its spiritual nature. Regains that matter, regains its spiritual nature because it was spiritual in the beginning. So the veil is being put on by us. The problem is it's become so like integral part of ourselves that we can't understand how to pull off the veil. We think we are these coverings. We don't understand that they're actually blocking us from seeing ourselves. We become so attached, like a drug addict, can't separate what is from what isn't, addictive behaviors. I can't be happy unless I'm doing this. And meanwhile, that activity is actually damaging them and hurting them and causing them to suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer. And their family's suffering and society's suffering and everyone's suffering. But they think, I can't be happy unless I continue this activity. But actually, that activity itself is the only thing stopping them from actually enjoying and actually experiencing life. So this is our nature, our addiction to see the world from the perspective of how does it please my material senses. But then in a beautiful call like this, we can be in Sangha and we can start thinking about our spiritual senses. Our spiritual senses. What we have spiritual senses? Yes, because God is a loving person. We are also loving people. And our soul has a personality. We have forgotten, like we have amnesia, like we're in like a coma state, where our gurus and teachers and mystics and masters and poets, they come and they whisper at our bedside and they say, hey, can you hear me? You're in a coma. Gotta wake up. And we're reading and we're thinking, like, is this a dream? Like, am I hearing something? We're just like in this coma dream state. We like, no, wake up, wake up. Like, did I hear something? But we can wake up. We can wake up from this coma. And one of the ways is through chanting, like we were doing singing and chanting, private meditation of japa, reading sacred scripture, speaking and sharing our hearts with like-minded souls. This awakens our spiritual senses. And we begin to feel joy from things that are not connected to matter. I mean, we were all smiling so much and singing beautifully. Like, was that a pop song? There's like simple words, but somehow or other, our hearts were being filled with joy, like as if the waters of the Ganga were flowing into our own hearts and beginning to overflow. So these experiences, simple things, offering food to each other, receiving food from each other, speaking our minds in confidence, listening in confidence, reminding each other of the divine, and all these simple things, childlike things, if done with the right consciousness, they bring pleasure to the divine and they bring pleasure to us on the most deep level. Thank you for letting me be part of your Sangha this morning. All the young people here have gone off to start this kirtan today. My Instagram is at Gaura Vani, and I have the schedule for the kirtan up on my Instagram. You can follow me, and if you'd like, you can go to my bio and you can see my Patreon and my music and other things there. It's all from my bio on Instagram. Lots of music.
What about your albums, Gaura? You have a few albums.
Yeah, they're all the links are all there. You can listen to tons of music. I have different music groups that I play with and a lot of solo music, and yeah. Thanks, Veda. I've got to prepare for a couple other things now, and I apologize for unceremoniously having to leave. But
thank you, Gaura.
I'm really grateful for the work that you're doing and for this beautiful community.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I hope I served you in some way. Forgive me for any mistakes I made or if my ego got in the way at all. We're trying our best. We just keep trying in the right company. So thank you. All right. Well, I hope to see you, some of you again that I already have known, and others. I hope to see you in person, get to meet. I'll speak with you later, Vedaji.
Thank you, Gaura.
Thank you. My love and respects to all of you.
Everyone, let us offer our deepest gratitude to Gaura for joining us, sharing his heart.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You really touched my heart. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Grateful to serve. Thank you. Okay. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you.
So we have 3 more minutes. I just wanted to briefly share with you that sometimes I find it's so beautiful to have people on the journey of their hearts to share, because he Gaura went to an ashram when he was 5 years old in India, in a city called Vrindavan. His mother placed him there, and he grew up in that environment with a lot of mixed feelings, and then he created beautiful albums. I know Narayani was listening to that song, Mother, I Love You song, when she was going through her struggles for many years. And so this is what happens in spiritual life. When we take our adversities in life and we are able to see how to find the spark of joy within that and find the divine presence within our struggles. And that is the secret of heart space. To find the beauty in all adverse situations. And that is truly possible when we're operating from the heart space. From the mind is very difficult. And from the intelligence, we try to rationalize, but from the heart, it is a very sacred space. It's a very sacred space. And it looks like Gaura will be traveling with me to Europe in September. We'll be traveling together. So I'm hoping to, he's very busy, but is very close to finalizing. And I'm looking forward to all of you joining me on a trip to India as well. Esther, Lonnie, and Didi from Netherlands have already booked their tickets and got fully ready, and it excites me even more. Yesterday, Kamala from Belgium was telling me 20 people have shortlisted to sign up for the trip to India, the pilgrimage. The point of the pilgrimage is really to connect your individual sanctity of the heart, with the universal energy vortexes around the world. And Rishikesh, a place in the mountains where thousands of sages meditated for thousands of years. The energy is so strong and vibrant on the bank of the Ganga. It's so beautiful. And to be in the company of Ganga Devi every morning and doing yoga on the bank of the Ganga and inhaling the fresh, loving oxygen that she is blowing towards us as we do our yoga and our yoga nidra meditations every morning. Beautiful, beautiful experiences. And then we'll go to Vrindavan, a city of 5,000 temples where everyone is humming and vibrating with high spiritual frequencies. So yes, I welcome all of your hearts and your minds and your bodies to join us. We do this once a year. It's October 21st till the 31st. Yeah, you can message me, you can message Keshavi, you can message Esther, you can message others that are going and are on this beautiful journey. In these places, we'll go and serve the locals while we also take time to rejuvenate and charge our spiritual batteries. So thank you all so much. I have another call that we're getting on for those of you who may not know. It's a podcast we're just starting. It's discussion 18 lessons from the Bhagavad Gita, the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, 18 lessons in 18 weeks. 8 weeks, sorry. And if you're available, it is 1 hour only. So
If
thank you.
anybody wants to come, just message me. I can send you the info if you don't have it.
Does
Can you
anyone have
please
the Zoom
send
link?
me the info? I don't have it.
Can
Thank
you
you.
send it on the Zoom link?
Should I just put it in the chat?
Oh, sure.
Okay, Sandra, yeah, I don't have your number.
So thank you
Um,
very much.
If
So
anybody wants to get on, I'll just put it in the chat now.
we'll see you soon. Namaste, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
okay.
You guys see that? If you want to join? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sandra, did you get the Zoom link?
Not yet.
It's in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I got it.
Okay. Does anybody
Thank
else?
you.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you.
Isabel, do you? It's right there if you need it too. You got it.
Yeah, I saw it. I got it. Thank you.
I don't know if Brenda and Irene and Balaram, I assume you have it.
Yes, I have it. Thank you so much.
Okay, cool. Irene, are you there? I'm gonna get onto the other meeting if you're not jumping in.